It's time to talk about Middle Tennessee Christian School sports. It's MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. Each week we sit down with the coaches to recap the latest games and preview what's ahead. It's time to talk about the orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner, right here on WGNS and Big G TV. Stay tuned, the show is coming up right after this message from our sponsors.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
The large majority of our kids are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities, one or the other, and most are doing multiple activities.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
And that's a great preparation for life. How many of us in our life are just doing one thing? So a well-rounded student is a huge deal.
Invest in your child's future in a Christ-centered environment with many athletic and extracurricular choices.
Without a doubt, our students have the opportunity to be involved in multiple activities.
To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Here's Dr. Russell McKissick with TOA.
We have a passion here for taking care of our athletes here in Rutherford County. We really do our best to take care of them.
Experts in joint, bones, and muscles.
Many years we've been taking care of athletes around here, and we've just picked up where Dr. John started, and we just keep going.
TOA has a playbook that gets you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. TOA, live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org.
We're back for MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance and fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, WGNSports.com, and Big G TV.
Welcome into MTCS Cougar Corner here on a Saturday morning. The show presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. We have orthopedic urgent care right here in Rutherford County at TOA, and ready to take care of any of those emergencies that might pop up. TOA.com online. Headed over to Middle Tennessee Christian School. Chris Lawson, the head boys basketball coach, joining us. Not the first time for you, but this is the first official boys week on Cougar Corner, and certainly good to have you along with us, Coach. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Absolutely. Sounds like I hear basketballs bouncing in the background.
Yeah, we're over at Ravenwood this morning. Our middle school is playing in a tournament. So first game at 9 a.m. after a late night last night at the high school. So that's how it goes for us basketball coaches and basketball folks this time of year.
Yeah, I would imagine so. But having, I mean, you mentioned middle school. There's not the opportunity necessarily at other places to not only be able to have your hand and, I guess some oversight, if you will, of some of the other programs that are coming up and kind of teach your philosophy, which has to be a pretty cool thing. I mean, it's like you're CEO of the boys basketball, kind of.
Absolutely. It's a really cool thing. I've got a son that's an 8th grader, and it gives me a chance to kind of also with the other kids kind of put some of our stuff in, start running some of our stuff, get them all familiar, kind of have a little bit of direction, also just get a little bit of familiarity with them and then with me as far as that goes. So as they move up from a teaching aspect, things get a little bit easier. It should get a little bit easier each year with them understanding what we want to try to do.
You've had several opportunities here to play lots of teams, and some you have already jumped into district play, I guess, a little bit. Let's talk about that since we haven't gotten too far into district play, but you've certainly had to play some tough opponents so far.
Definitely. I think last night we started there. We played BGA, and we were actually leading at halftime. We were up 28-25, and then second half we just, kind of showed our youth a little bit, and they're pretty senior heavy. BGA is. I think they kind of imposed their will a little bit on us, bigger and stronger, a little bit older guys. They ended up getting up on us a little bit, and so I told our guys after the game, I said, saw what I needed to see as far as us being able to compete. We haven't been able to put together a full game yet, and we're not quite to the point where, we can play a full game with a really good program. So didn't finish the deal last night, and then also last Friday night we played PCA at our place. And then that also, tough opponent. They're top team in the state. And I thought that we made some runs at them early in the game. But, they're so good and so well coached that they just kind of kept coming back at us. And eventually, kind of got ahead and out of striking distance, if you will. But I like where we are. My goal coming in, against those two in particular was kind of measure and see where we are and see if we can compete with them. And then, the other part of that is the teams that I felt like we had a little more talent in to be able to win those games and finish those games, and we've done that so far. It hasn't been easy by any means. We lost a couple early in the season games. I think double overtime to Bradley Central, we lost by 1. We lost at the buzzer to Columbia Central by 2. Then we turned around and won, against Grace Christian on a last-second shot. And, also against Franklin Christian, played pretty well, able to pull that game out. And so we've shown some growth. Chattanooga Christian last Saturday was a tough game. We found a way to win that one at the end. So there's been some things like that I'm seeing growth. But the word that always comes back to my mind is it's a process. And, with it being a process that's not overnight, it just doesn't happen like that. I heard a wise person once told me success happens very gradual and then kind of all at once. And I think right now we're in that gradual stage where people are, our guys and everybody in our program is trying to figure out where, when, how, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully as we get deeper into the season, people get more comfortable with this is where the ball needs to go. This is what we need to try to do in this situation, that kind of.
Chris Lawson is joining us this morning. We have him on Cougar Corner today. I wanted to go back and talk about some of this. I have your record with 4 losses. I think that's pretty close, but you mentioned those early on. That one was double overtime, and the other was a 2-point loss. You've had some big wins. You've also had a win at the last second. You had a pretty close one with BGA this week too. You've really kind of experienced all of the different kinds of emotions, I think, here.
Absolutely. Here's something that I'm super proud of our guys. We played, and knock on wood, I talk a lot about emotions and being able to control emotions and kind of trying to stay level, not getting too high, not getting too low. I think over the long haul, that'll play in our favor, and that'll be, beneficial for us. But, some other teams have had technical fouls. They tend to get too high, too low, that kind of thing. So I see a lot of growth there for our guys. It's not perfect by any means, and sometimes we kind of get punched in the mouth a little bit when teams make runs. We go through some really, really bad struggles. But overall, I see us taking steps towards getting better each and every day and every night. So, it doesn't change today. Today we have, after a tough game last night, we got to turn around today. We got Nashville Christian coming in. it's going to be another tough game for us, and not much rest. Our guys will have to be ready to go when they get in there.
Coach Lawson, I don't think a lot of people fully appreciate the number of games that you play on the D2 level, and you play all at kind of this, I don't know, it just seems so condensed, but there are many weeks and there are many more that are coming up. I mean, it's Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and those are district games, and they mean a lot. So, I mean, there's not a lot of scout between Friday and Saturday. I mean, D2 is a tough schedule, I think.
Yeah, you're 100% correct on that. It is a very tough schedule. I've talked to our guys a lot about, right now the focus is mainly on us. Now we're scouting, district opponents probably more heavily than anybody, and working on putting scouts in, that kind of thing. But trying to get our guys to understand that, the farther in we get to this process, we'll see teams a second time. We'll see, different types of actions, multiple times. And the things that we work on how to defend and where we can take advantage on offense, things like that, will become a little bit more second nature the farther that we get into things. And that's the part where, I think our guys are growing the most right now. We struggle a lot of times, but I also see us taking those steps and seeing things, on their own as players, and us as coaches not having to tell them what to do every single time and where to go. And, hey, there's a screen coming here, you got to talk on this, or your guy sets the screen, you got to help you. Like, we're getting better at that kind of stuff. So very, very excited and encouraged with where we are as far as that goes. Biggest thing too, we've been talking a ton about stuff and competing. We didn't get a chance to talk as much about Nashville Christian because we had BGA last night. So the goal now is we got to come in today, and we've got to be able to take some of that stuff that we've taught already, and we got to come and compete. We got to play with some energy and some passion, and we got to come in and we got to be ready to go.
Chris, we had the chance to come out and broadcast the games last Friday with PCA at your place, and number one, that was about the best high school basketball fan and game experience, just the student sections, and it was one of the best ones that we've seen in the last few years. I mean, that had to be a lot of fun for your kids to play in front of.
It was. Obviously, they were disappointed when we got behind a little bit, but even last night, it was pretty packed in there. And what fans want to see and what people want to experience is high energy. They want to see dunks. They want to see aggressiveness. They want to see the ball moving and 3-point shots. Like they want to see all that kind of stuff. They want to see guys getting after it. And so that's kind of what we're trying to sell to our guys. We got to play that style, but still have a little bit of a calm and a poise about us to recognize when to slow it down and when to, maybe pull it out, make a different decision there, that kind of thing. So, they were really excited to play in that game. And PCA was, they were pretty amped up before the game. They were back in the back hallway and had the music blasting. And, it's fun. It's just a fun environment to be a part of. It's a fun thing to be a part of. So I hope it continues to grow as we go throughout this year and moving forward.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. And it helps to that girls' rivalry that night has become so intense, and Shayla has got the girls playing very, very well, and
Yeah.
got to win over PCA. That hasn't happened in a few years. So, I mean, it was just a cool night. But looking at your team, I really thought, and he was actually our player of the game. I don't remember how many points he had, but leading your team, kind of the quarterback down the court most of the time, was Anderson Briner, and I thought he did a tremendous job for you trying to get the ball where it was supposed to go.
He's really come on. There was a time before back in the fall where he actually had thought about maybe giving up basketball, and he said, can I come in? Can we talk a little bit? So we talked about some things or whatever. And, I kind of explained to him it's not a light switch. You can't be halfway in, halfway out. You've got to be passionate and want to play, or not play at all. Like, you got to do one of the two. And so I said, I'll tell you this. I said, you only get one opportunity to play high school basketball and to go through high school. That I really think you will regret if you don't play and give it up right now. So, it's a lot of fun still to be had, and you're going to miss that. And so you might not see it right now. So he stuck with it, and he has continued to grow and grow and grow and develop. And I'm really proud of the way that he has stepped into that guard role where he can play point guard, he can play two guard. But he's had 3 or 4 games this year where he's just done what we need him to do. Either that's run the team and get the ball where it needs to go, or that is maybe get to the foul line, or maybe try to get to the rim or knock down shots. But, he's doing more and more of that. And I can just see the mental part of it growing in him and understanding, what we need to do in order to have a chance to be successful.
Yeah. Elijah Carter's playing awfully well for you. He had, in the Zion win, 24 points, and Noah Owens. Anybody else that you'd like to mention right now? Go right ahead, because I know night in and night out, it could be someone different on your team stepping up to lead the way.
It definitely can be someone different night in and night out with a new roster kind of put together and new coaching staff. We're still feeling our way through that process, but Elijah Carter has been consistent. He's averaging about 20 points a game, and I think about 7 rebounds a game. Last night I was upset. He had 16 in the first half, and Lawson Lee was guarding him. He had a hard time guarding him. Second half, they made some adjustments, switched, different guy on him, and we kind of quit going to Elijah. And I told the guys after the game, I said, there's no reason to go away from what's working. We've got to kind of make, them stop that, and then we can go to something different. It's just another part of us growing. But Noah Owens has been up and down. He's shooting the ball at an extremely high clip. I think he shot the most threes on the season, and he's shooting. When I looked before last night, he was at about 47%, which is really, really good. But then he also goes through some of those freshman times too, where I think older guys and other coaches kind of see, hey, he's not as big, he's not as strong because he's young. So we're gonna really go at him. That makes it tough. And I just keep telling him, just keep working hard, because you are a freshman, you're gonna grow, and it's only gonna get better from here. You're gonna be older and bigger and stronger in the future, and that part will get better. Connor Branch has been good for us as well. He's been injured with a back injury, so he's not been full speed the last few games, but he's one. But I'll tell you the one that I really want to mention is Isaiah Buchanan. He's a freshman guard for us who we have brought along slowly, but the last, I don't know, maybe week and a half to 2 weeks, he's really come on strong. He's handling the ball well. He's putting in some points. Against Chattanooga Christian, he had 16 points and 11 rebounds. So things like that, he's just got a nose for the ball and always in the right place, so to speak. So that's something that we're excited about moving forward.
Well, you've got Nashville Christian today, and then after that, a few days, celebrate Christmas, and then a little post-Christmas tournament down in Watertown, I believe, is on the schedule.
Yes. Got to go to Watertown. We'll play the 27th. We'll be off on the 28th, and then we'll turn around and we'll play again 29th and the 30th. And then, right into district play after that. So I'm kind of glad we play right after Christmas, just to kind of get us back in and get going, as far as that goes. But it's also a bracket-style tournament. So I kind of want to use that tournament as, we're going in, we want to try to win it. We want to win that tournament since it's a bracket style. That's kind of the goal. We got Cookville first game, so not an easy draw. They've had a good program and had success the last few years. So that's kind of what we go back to. It doesn't get any easier, even in the Christmas tournament. We just got to show up and we got to be ready to play and compete. We'll kind of see how we do there.
Yeah, and then like you said, you right back into district play. The second game or the second day of 2026 is district basketball. So that's the rubber meets the road in January and February. The next 6 months are going to be really big.
They are. The schedule was made before I got hired, and it's the same for everybody for the most part in our district as far as like the nights we play, and everybody ends up with some Friday, Saturday back-to-back, games and stuff like that here and there. But I don't particularly like having to jump straight to a district game on January 2nd, but I'm not going to sit here and complain about that either. We're going to try to get ready. We'll be ready to play it. It's FRA. Come to our place. They've had a really good start to their season. They're much improved. And Coach Gallagher does a great job with them. So, it's another one that is really important for us as far as postseason play and seeding purposes. We want to try to take care of business against them.
Coach, I appreciate you spending some time. I know it's a busy time of the year and always in the gym, and it's always really good to catch up with you. And I know Cougar fans will enjoy hearing from you this morning. Good luck here over the next few days. Hope you have a Merry Christmas and you and the family get to celebrate in a little time and all that kind of thing before jumping right back into the fray. But I do appreciate your time.
Absolutely, Brian. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you doing this and having me on the show and being able to talk for a little bit here on Saturday morning.
Well,
and
catch you in a few weeks. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. MTCS Athletics is where you want to go to catch up with everything that's going on with the orange and white. And that is not the end of our conversation this morning, though, as it usually is. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we've got a very special Cougar Corner, our very special Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner coming up as we're going to wrap up the football season with Oakland coach Kevin Creasy. That's next here on WGNS.